Oh my God. I made my wife livid. I mean, she was flipping out. She really was flipping out. And you know, I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened, but it just got me thinking. Like, people who end up alone. So what I want to do is I want to share with you tips on how to avoid breakup. And we're starting right now. What's up, man? I'm Andres, and this is Be a Man TV, where I give you the power not only to become a competent man, but a confident man. Do you know why most people break up? Because really it's for one of two reasons. You know, 80 to 90% of the relationships end because of these reasons. The first reason why people break up is simply because they're not a match. They're not compatible. They don't have the same ideals. They don't have the same values. They don't have the same likes. You know, that's a relationship that wasn't going to work to begin with. And typically it only lasts a few dates. Now for the second reason, this is really why you came here. And that's because of miscommunication. Now I'm going to tell you what happened with my wife. I'm going to tell you that story. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about communication. Because listen to me when I say this. Communication is not just about talking. Or, you know, what words you say or how you say it. It is huge. First, let's go ahead and talk about what most people think of when they hear communication. And that's the talking portion of it. This is when you're trying to convey an idea or make a point. And it's very important to understand this. You see, if the other person doesn't know what your wants and needs are, they're gonna mess up, and that's gonna cause argument. And vice versa. So I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say you're a very neat person, right? And your partner, not so much. So what you're gonna tell them, look, I don't mind you spreading out your stuff when you're using it. That's fine. But as soon as you're no longer using it, pick it up and put it away. Because if I come home and I find a mess, you're not using any of it, I'm gonna be mad. Alright? So do not let me catch that happening. So you see, in that example, there's a lot that actually went into it. I was very clear on what my needs were, but also I was clear on how important this is to me, right? Now, besides the words that I said, I also had the tone. You know, I made sure it was serious. I wasn't smiling, which, by the way, facial expression is part of communication. And I was just very clear on what the situation was. Now, another part of conveying your point is body language. So if I were to say something like, oh, I see you have your stuff out. Well, just make sure to clean up after yourself. Right? So in that example, I was smiling. It made it seem like it's not a big deal. Just take care of it. And if you don't, oh well. Alright, now let me go ahead and tell you what actually happened. But just real quick, if you feel that you need advice that's specific to your situation, go in the description below and check out my Patreon page. So, my wife's friend is in town and it was early in the morning, so they went off to go get some breakfast. I decided to stay home and, you know, just kind of work on the YouTube stuff for a little bit. Well, she comes back, she brings back the food, right? And it was in the middle of a live stream. I was watching Nick Nimmin. So I guess technically it's Nick Nimmin's fault. You know, he was grading my channel. Anyways. She honks, I go out, I get the food, I run back in. And she got me some tacos, right? So I reach into the bag and there's a taco. I pull it out, I take a bite. And it has a bunch of onions, which I don't like. She loves onions, alright? She loves onions. But I don't. So I took a bite. And I mean, I ate it. And there was a second bag, and you know, I had one of those tacos too. Now, she comes home, right? And you know, I let her know, but she's not really responding. When it's time for her to go to work, she starts packing her lunch. And I had one taco left, so I gave it to her, and she opened it up, and she's like, "You ate my taco?" I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I told you. I told you 3 times I ate the taco." She's like, "You ate my taco? Oh, why would you do that? It was just the way I like it. You know, it had all the onions all throughout. I was telling my friend that there's no way he's gonna eat it because he hates onions. But you ate my taco?" The thing is, she told me there's 2 tacos for you and there's one for me, just put it in the fridge. Which brings me to the second part of communication, and this is a big one. This is how you avoid breaking up. Listen. Listen to what your partner says. Because when they're talking, it's not just, to hear themselves talk and get some air out. They want you to understand what they're saying, right? And I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't. So she got mad. She really, I mean, it was like I killed something dear to her, like the favorite pet or something. But eventually, I mean, she did calm down. It's not a huge deal. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Nobody died. It was just talk, which can be replaced, so I'm gonna totally make it up to her. But still, the fact that I wasn't listening and she was looking forward to it made her pissed, right? So it's very, very important that you listen. And when they're being specific, 2 tacos are yours, one's mine, put it in the fridge, you should pay attention. Even if you're in a hurry, it happens, but just listen to what they're saying. Now, if you still need ideas for Valentine's, then click on the card above and just keep her happy. Make sure to earn your man card by subscribing to Be a Man TV. Until next time, stay manly, my friend.